Good morning, guys. Can't wait to kick off today. So glad that you're joining me. And before we do officially kick this off, as usual, I would love to hear from you. So make sure that you drop in the comments how your day's going so far. And also let me know if this is your first time to one of these coffee talks. And I've got some really cool things that I want to share with you and also let you know what's going to be happening here very, very soon. And even with tomorrow's coffee talk, really about what that looks like moving forward in the future. But as always, I'm going to be, I'm going to be letting people come on here while we enjoy our first cup of coffee together. This is actually my second, but it's my first one with you. And I just wanted to, again, give you guys time to jump in here and get situated. Today's topic is going to be all about content. Now, I've noticed that when I talk about creating content, a lot of times people get stuck there. So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper, and I wanted to give you an easy way. I'm actually going to give you 5 ways, but there's an easy way that you can create endless amounts of content in your market that acts as really like answers and solutions to problems or questions. And that's really what you want to be doing on a regular basis. So that's what we're going to be diving into here today. I'm also going to let you guys know what's going to be happening moving forward on this coffee talk is what we are calling it, but it's also the Take Action Morning Crew. It's you guys, or the Take Action Morning Show, we might even call it. So what we are going to be doing is Nashville Squad. Josh just jumped in. But I did want to let you guys know what's going to be happening. Tomorrow, we're going to kick off Friday doing something that we're going to start doing every single Friday. So more to come on that. I'm also going to be letting you guys in on a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going to be happening starting next Monday, officially, something I've been working on, I've been contemplating doing, and now it's officially going to happen. And it's going to be talked about Monday on the podcast, but I'm going to let you guys in on it a little bit early because you guys are the Take Action Morning Crew. All right. So with that all being said, let's see who's hanging out with us here today. Karen, what's up? Good morning. Good to see you. Beautiful day in Michigan. That's awesome. Josh, what's up? How are you doing, man? Yenny, good morning from Canada. Awesome. Yeah. If you guys can put in where you're tuning in from, that would be amazing. I love seeing where everyone is hanging out from, because this is our virtual coffee, by the way, but we can still hang out together. Nashville Squad, Josh, what's up? Kate, good morning, all. And then Sakat, good morning from Somalia. Wow, okay, awesome. Kate says, beautiful day here in Idaho. Awesome, awesome. James, good morning. Welcome back, James. I think this is your second coffee talk, if I can remember correctly. So thank you. Deborah, good morning. Great day in South Dakota. Awesome. James, I just said James. James, good evening from Singapore. Wow, we got Singapore in the house. And I know that we usually have Justin. He isn't here yet, but I'm assuming he's going to probably be here. And if he's not, well, he's going to be missed. He's from Australia. Estela from sunny California. Awesome. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in South Carolina. We're not going to have any rain today. It's just going to be sunshine and blue skies, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, so let me start off. Let me actually get rid of that. Let me start off first by letting you guys in on what's going to be happening starting tomorrow. Okay. Now, these coffee talks have really kind of, they've always turned into a Q&A in a sense, which I have no problem with. That's totally fine. But what I want to do is I want to dedicate a Friday episode to be purely your questions. All right. So you can either submit questions beforehand or show up live during our coffee talks, and we're going to answer live Q&A. I'm going to call this our Friday Jam, okay? Our Friday Jam session. If any of you know, I'm a big guitar player as far as I love guitar. I've been in rock bands in the past, wanted to be a rock star at one time. And you can see just from behind me there, I got the amplifier. I got my guitar as a symbol of like, I just love that stuff. So why not call our Friday morning coffee talk? Why don't we just have a jam session and just jam on whatever you want to talk about? So that's kind of what we're going to be calling our Friday talks, are really just our Friday jam sessions together where we can answer all of your questions. All right. So it'll be purely, I'm just going to jump in and start answering questions, and they can be random. They can be on a topic. It doesn't matter. So make sure that you come to those Friday sessions. All right. And I've got more to come when I make my announcement on Monday on how they are also going to be incorporated into the podcast. All right. So I'll let you guys in on that stuff. So with that all being said, let me also remind you, if this is your first time here, welcome, but also make sure that you set your notifications because we do this every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time, like clockwork. I was actually corrected. This isn't episode or session 40. It's actually session 43. My YouTube guy, Jimmy the Shark, he basically corrected me yesterday. He goes, you're at 43 tomorrow. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. So you might want to correct that. I said, okay. So we're going to correct it. Today is session number 43 of the Coffee Talk. So super excited. And all of you that were here from the beginning, thank you. And I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, let's dive into this topic today, right? And I think it's really, really important that we understand that content, to me, content is king. And what I mean by that is content is a way for you to serve your market, give them answers, give them solutions. Even if it's just a quick answer, you're the one that solved that problem or answered that question. You automatically create trust with that person and also can lead them into your ecosystem. All right. So just understand that is really, really important that we create content that serves our market. All right. So that's first and foremost. Okay. And it doesn't have to be hard. Okay. And that's why today I said, let's focus on question content. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you create content that answers specific questions, there's a lot of opportunity there because a lot of times you'll see an article or a blog post or even a YouTube video that covers a whole bunch of questions. I want to find that one question and that one answer. And if you create information on your website, your home base, as we call it, you are going to show up as the resource, okay, as the questions that are being answered resource, okay? And then from there, you lead them in with the question, and then you also give them more information or help or products or whatever to help them within that, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples, but I've got 5 different ways that you can come up with endless amounts of questions that you can start to answer. And this here to me is the easiest way to start creating content in your market. I have 3 buckets that I create content in. 1 is questions. 2 is going to be how-to. And 3 is going to be products, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into each of those. I'm going to go into one of those today, and that is the questions bucket because that one there is the easiest, and I think we could all start doing that immediately, all right? So let me go ahead and kind of run through this. So number 1, okay, is Google, okay? And I'm going to give you an example here. Rather than just explain it, I'm going to give you an example. If you're watching this on Instagram, in order to see the screen, you have to go over to Facebook or YouTube. Just saying, okay? All right, let me go ahead and pull that screen up for you. All right, cool. So let's use this right here, bass fishing, right? We're going to use bass fishing as an example, as I've done in the past. All right. And I'm on a site right now that is Answer the Public. Okay. Now I kind of jumped ahead here. Let me not share that one yet. We're not going to share that one yet. I got ahead of myself. We want to go to Google. Okay. Google is where we would start. Google is a search engine. People are searching for questions. You've probably searched for a question. Answer this in the comments. Have you ever went into Google and looked for a specific question just to get the answer? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments. Just curious. So this is an example here. I typed in, can you catch? And immediately I get all of these different things. Can you catch bass at night? Can you catch COVID-19 twice? Can you catch the coronavirus twice? Can you catch? So a lot of coronavirus, right? So we don't want just can you catch, right? What we want to do is we want to put a B in there, an A, an SS for bass. It's more specific, right? So can you catch bass at night with worms, in March, in the rain, in April, in the winter, after it rains, in cold water, with hot dogs, with shrimp? I just got, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 results from that one search. One search. There's 10 pieces of content there that people are asking according to Google. Now, do you think that Google would put this in as an auto suggest if people weren't searching for it? So I don't even really need to know about search traffic. A lot of people get hung up on the numbers. They're like, well, I want to know that gets 1,000 searches before I write an article. No, you don't have to do that. Not in the beginning, especially. Like when you're first starting, the biggest thing you can do is come up with a batch of content and just create it. Okay. And just understand if they're putting in here, can you catch bass at night? There's people searching for that. Okay. Because they wouldn't put it there as the auto suggest. Number one, auto suggest. The other one is, can you catch bass with worms? It's a great question. Okay. Can you catch bass in March? I don't know, but in March, that was probably a top search. Not right now. Okay. So you might not do that one. You might not do that one as specific because it's only going to be for that month. So maybe you skip that one. Okay. Can you catch bass in the rain? Who would want to know that? A bass fisherman. I'm going to go catch fish. It's raining. Should I go? Or you know what? It's raining. I'm going to go today. I don't know. Is it worth it? Okay. I love the one. Can you catch bass with hot dogs? That's beautiful. I love that. Okay. So again, just an idea. So now let's say that we do search this one here. And I'm going to go down here now. And it says, are largemouth bass active at night? How do you catch bass at nighttime? What is the best bait for night fishing? Right? Can you bass fish in the dark? These are all additional questions from this one question. So can you catch bass at night? And then we have these here. So again, why try to recreate the wheel, right? We don't need to. But now if I go back here, check this out. Or I mean, actually, let me just go back. But check this out. If I go, well, I can't go back there now. So let's see here. Can you catch bass? Okay. So let's just take that out. And then if I go here, okay. So just, can you catch bass? And then I'm going to look down here and just, can you, bass fishing tips, 9 basic all anglers need to know, right? So all that stuff. But now watch this. What if I go here? Okay. Can you catch bass at night? There it is again with worms, right? Or I can just look down here. Actually, after I do, let me see here. Let me do this one with worms. What fish can you catch with worms? Are worms good for bass? What is the best bait for bass fishing? Right? So I'm getting more ideas every time that I niche down as far as what is that search term. So it's a question. That's all it is. All right. So now let me go back here. Actually, let me get out of here for a minute. Bear with me, guys. All right. I'm going to go back to my sheet. Now, let me ask you something. Have you done that exercise yourself right now when looking for content? Okay. Are you doing that one technique? Because if you're not, you need to do that one today. Okay. Do that one little technique, and at least you'll get an idea of what your market is searching for. Okay. So that's the number one thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay. Now, moving on. YouTube. Okay. I'm not going to show my screen on this one, but basically YouTube, it's going to be the exact same thing. You can start with a question. Can you catch bass? And then see what fills in, or you can ask a how-to question. With the how-to question, that starts to go into the how-to bucket. Okay. So that way there, you're creating different types of content. What I would rather do is just do the can you, what can this, all of those things. And I'll show you a way that we can find these other prefixes to the actual long tail keyword that we're looking for. But YouTube's a great way. So you might do best way to catch bass, let it fill in, right? And then that way there, you're searching for a specific question, but it's also an answer to that. There's probably 5 different ways. Use a rubber worm, use a real worm, use a hot dog, right? Like all of these different things could be in that post. All right. So that's that one. Now let's move on to the third one, which I kind of already gave away. And that is, let me go back here. And let me go back here. That's this one right here. And that is Answer the Public. It's a great tool. It's free. I think you get 3 or 5 searches a day is what it does before you have to pay for it. So all I did is I typed in bass fishing. That is it. Okay. And from here, it's giving me, there's 54 questions. Okay. And they were all done by adding an are, can, how, what, when, where, which, who, why, will. Okay. So let's check this out. Are bass fishing in UK? Okay. It doesn't make sense. Is bass fishing a sport? Is bass fishing, okay, nothing. How much are bass fishing boats? What are good bass fishing lures? What are the best fishing techniques? Let's go to can. Can bass see fishing line? That's a great one, by the way. Can you bass fishing at night? Can you go bass fishing in the winter? Can bass see red fish line? Can bass see color fish line? Can bass see yellow fish line? So a lot on fish line. You might want to create a post on can fish see fish line, right? How? Then we go into the how to. How bass fishing? How is bass fishing today? How to bass fish videos. Those ones there I would probably ignore for right now. What is bass fishing? What length bass fishing rod? What line bass fishing rod? What is bass fishing season? What is bass fishing bait? What rod for bass fishing? There we go, right? When is bass fishing season? When does bass fishing season start? When is bass fishing best? What is bass fishing season in Ontario? You get the idea, right? Where to go bass fishing near me? Where is Bass Fishing Hall of Fame? Where is the best fishing, bass fishing? Where is the best fishing in Florida? And so on. So you get the idea, right? All we're doing is using that one little word in front of bass fishing, and we're getting all of these different questions. So that is really, really powerful, and you can have endless amounts of content. All right. So I'm going to pause there for a minute, and I want to know also, are you creating content in your market that answers questions? Only questions. Are you doing that right now? Give me a yes or a no. Let me know. Okay. All right. And then we're going to answer some questions here because I know you guys are going to have some. All right. So the next way, number 4, is you're going to ask your email list. Now, this is only if you have an email list. And I don't care if you have 50 people, 100 people, 1,000, 10,000, doesn't matter. You want to ask a question. All right. And the question could be, and a great subject line for this as well would be quick question or quick favor, do me a favor, something like that. And then from there, you would ask the question. And that question would be like, and it would be this simple. What is your biggest question for bass fishing? Like, that's it. Or what are you struggling with right now? Trying to catch more bass, something like that. And then that way they're going to give you the questions right from the market. Okay. So again, use the Google search, use the YouTube auto suggest, answer the public, ask your email list. Okay. And then the 5th way is go on social and ask social media. All right. And again, depending on where your market is, I like using Facebook for this because you can just ask an open-ended question and it's great for engagement. Okay. If you're doing YouTube, again, if you're doing a YouTube video, go, hey, if you have a question, drop it down in the description. I would love to know what's your biggest question about catching more bass, right? And that's it. That question turns into a post. Okay. Same thing can happen here. I can say, guys, do me a favor. If you have a question on creating content, drop it down in the comments below on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching this. All right. Do that for me. You see what's happening there? You're going to supply me with a question. I'm going to supply the answer. I'm going to create a piece of content around that. Now, again, I would do a little bit of research because I'm going to get a lot of questions. Not all of them are going to be, maybe content worthy. They might just be a one-off, but a lot of them are content worthy. Okay. So anyway, that's how you would do that. So number 1, go to Google, do the auto suggest. Number 2, go to YouTube, same formula there. Okay. Number 3, answer the public, great free tool. Number 4 is ask your email list. And number 5 is ask on social. All right. So there they are. Like, not hard, endless amounts of content that you can create. So there's no excuse to creating the content. The ideas and the content that's created in your market is there. Now, if you do these exercises and you can't find the content, then there might be a problem in the market. It might not be the right market or the right niche that you're positioning your brand in, right? So then we have to maybe do a little bit of an adjustment or a little bit of a pivot in a sense. All right. So you always do want to make sure you do that research up front. That's why when I have people go through our brand growth validation checklist, it does this. This way here, we don't get to that point where like, yeah, well, you got a product and, we're going to start building out, traffic and, but there's not really any content that people are searching for. We need to figure that part out first. Traffic is number 1 in this equation to make sure that we can actually get attention in our market. If people aren't searching for something, it's going to be hard for you to get traffic unless you're just going to interrupt their day with content that you're like, hey, you should check this out because everyone should know about bass fishing. No, Like, that's not what we want. We want people that are searching. That's going to be your best traffic. All right. So there is your little nugget for the day. All right. Or nuggets, I should say. But let's go ahead and let's see if we have any questions here. I see a lot of yeses. Oh, Justin's in the house. Justin, I was asking about you. I didn't see you. Here you are. Good. Glad you're here. Okay, cool. Austin, what's up, man? How are you? Let's see. Octavio. Good morning, man. How are you? Yes. Okay, cool. Is it better to, okay, here we go. Is it better to start answering questions on Google first since main search engine? So do you mean supplying content there, writing content? If that is the question, the answer is yes, 125%. We are doing this in actually three brands, but two of them that are under 7 months old, and we're getting over 20,000 page views per month. And I would say 70% of that is coming straight from Google. We have one of them that's probably about 25% is coming from Pinterest now. So yes, I would say I would cater it towards that. It seems everyone is now using this technique to write content. Don't you think it might be hard to compete? No, I don't. Because here's the problem. Most people, yes, might be trying this, but they're not creating good content. They're just going to have like a brief piece of content that is going to somewhat answer the question, right? You do follow a formula when you're creating content. We're not going to go into that today, but there is a formula. You need it to be optimized, and it's not hard to optimize it, but it does need to be optimized. Good images, a really well-structured post is good as well. So no, I don't believe it's too competitive. I think people are going to try to take the shortcuts, and anytime that you create a resource, set seeds or plant seeds like we've talked about before, water them a little bit, nurture them a little bit, and then move on, plant some more. I believe you will win. I do. I truly believe that. Karen says yes, but not often. Okay. Mike says no. Got home late today. Hi, Scott. Hey, Rebecca. Good to see you. Hey, better late than never. Not enough. Great points. Okay, cool. So you got to create some more content. Answering questions like next week. This week, I'm finishing up the validation part. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. Again, one step at a time. And James, yes, absolutely. One step at a time. Is question best content to start doing in the awareness phase? The awareness phase. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Awareness phase, meaning that you're trying to bring awareness to your market? Or is it you're trying to get awareness as far as, do you want to go down this road of this market? So I need a little bit more details on that. Hey, Scott, looking forward to some great tips. Hey, Iva, glad to have you in the house. Have you used quizzes to add to the list? Yeah, quizzes work good. I don't use them often, but quizzes are great. A great lead magnet. It's just another form of a lead magnet. Helene, thanks for Answer the Public. I was not familiar with that one. Yeah, that one there is a gold mine. What percentage of content should be questions? You know, again, we're starting to get, okay, Scott, what is it? Is it 30, 30, 40? Like, what is the breakdown? What is the formula? The formula is find 10 pieces of content and write it. Like that's it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's an exact formula that we're following. Like, it's got to be this many questions, and then you need to start doing some how-to, and then you got to do 10% product-based posts. I don't operate that way. I operate on, let's get something that we understand. Let's put an action plan together, and then let's take action on it, like, period. So if you haven't created 10 pieces of content yet on questions, that's your first step, right? And honestly, when I'm starting a new brand from scratch, it's going to probably start with 25 questions or more. Okay. I just did a content tree pillar type post and a cluster of content. We found one main pillar content, which basically answers a whole bunch of questions. And then we added individual questions off of that, the branches of the tree, if you will. So we had a total of, I believe it was like 20 pieces of content, one of them being the pillar. So then 19 other pieces of content that were answering questions. The one post was all of the other questions in one post that we can link back out to. We can interlink and do all of those things. So again, don't get so caught up in like percentages. Like, what does it have to be? No, just answer questions. And they can be very simple questions, right? Can you use hot dogs to catch more bass? Can you catch bass with hot dogs? It's one question. But then it might be a more of a pillar post. Could be like, what is the bait? What is the best bait to catch bass? And then you can list out 20 different types, and each one of those could also be an individual post. That's how that would work. Lloyd, can you recommend any well-structured posts to study and learn from? Yeah. I'm actually going to be interviewing Matt from Swim University. So I would check out Swim University. Great blog. It's been around for like 15 years, gets over 7 million visitors per year. And I'm actually interviewing him today. So I'm going to be exciting. And I just stumbled on his site just looking for examples. So it's a great idea of how you can create some useful content and also sprinkle in some products and some, affiliate stuff. So that's pretty cool. Karen, as my subscribers grow, how do I monetize my website with ads? Who do I go through and how many followers? So, okay, again, we're going to answer like straight up questions, not that aren't based on the topic. We're going to do more of those tomorrow. We're going to do those on a Friday session. But I will briefly touch on this. As my subscribers grow, how do I monetize my website with ads? It's not about necessarily subscribers. It's traffic on site. So really you want to have at least 1,000 visitors to the website, or page views, I should say, before you can even think about turning on ads. That's kind of how it works. Now that doesn't mean you need 1,000 people. It just means you need one person that might view 3 pages. That's 3 page views. Because the ad networks do look at how much traffic you're getting or how many page views you're getting per month. And we like to shoot for 10,000 page views before we turn on traffic or ads. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, okay. And I already answered that one. Okay. For drop shipper or shipping, how could I create content and where can I post them? So drop shipping again would be like, drop shipping is more of the product side. How can you create content that brings awareness into the brand and then your product just is a part of the content? So that's how I would think about it. So if you're selling fishing rods, you're drop shipping fishing rods, all of this content that I'm talking about would be the right people that could buy the fishing rod, right? So always think about that. Who is buying the fishing rods and what other things do they need in that process? I meant what question should start with first, Google, YouTube, or I would start Google. I would go Google, then YouTube, then answer the public. Okay, is this question content posted on our blog? Yes, it is. The blog is your home base. People start thinking like a blog is different than your website. Not really. It's basically a WordPress blog is what we base everything off of. And I can add a store on there. I can add, another component to it, but really the blog, it doesn't mean it has to be every single one is a blog post. You can have pages on there. You can do all kinds of things, but any piece of content, you got to think about it. You have your home base right here. You want to just imagine you're putting all of these different pieces out there that are going to lead back to the home base. So you never put something out there that doesn't lead back to the home base. And every piece of content that comes from your website is a piece of content that could lead people back. So just think about that. Kate, do we post this content on our Facebook biz page too? I don't know why not. Yeah, you would, but it would be after you post on your website. That would just be a way to get attention to the piece of content. So the way we do it is we publish the post on the website, on the blog. And then from there, if we have an email list in that brand, we will let them know that a new piece of content, again, if it's worthy of an email. So it would be like if you had 5 tips to catch more bass, you might send an email that says 5 tips to catch more bass. And then you might say number 3 is my favorite, right? A little curiosity base there. And we did a whole session this week on writing email in a coffee talk. So that was well received. So if you missed that one, go back and go to the playlist. If you're on YouTube, you should be able to find the playlist somewhere in here. If my YouTube guy spots this, if not, you can just go in the description and you'll find the playlist to all of these coffee talks. And you can scroll through there and see writing email. We'll do more of those in the future as well. But yeah, you want to make sure that you let people know it's an email list, a Facebook post, any of that stuff. If you have Pinterest, you want to create a pin on that post that leads people back, which Pinterest is working really well for us in all the brands right now, all of them, even on the paid side, which we're playing with right now. it's working really good. So I'm a fan right now of that. How to, and what is the third bucket? Oh, it's questions, how to, and products. So anytime that you're in a business, there's products that people are buying. If you're not finding products, then you need to go back into your validation phase, because that's part of that process. We need to make sure that people are buying things. And then we want to write content that's going to be around that. 5 best router bits for building a dresser, or for cabinets, or something like that, right? So we want to have like 5 best or 7 best. And then that will be all product based. You also can do products that are specific. So if I was doing one on this Rode Procaster, it would be like 5 tips to get more out of your Pro RODECaster mic, right? And then I would talk about 5 things that I do to make this sound better, right? That's what we would do. And it's leading people back to buy. If someone's looking at that content, they're probably interested in buying one of these, right? So that's kind of what we're doing there. Justin, so I assume you would write an article even if it generates 0 search results using Ubersuggest. Yes, 100%. We've done that. And here, I got something to share with you guys. Let me take a sip of coffee on this one first. And if you guys do have any questions, please show up tomorrow, Friday. We're going to do a jam session. And I'm starting to call these jam sessions because, well, I love guitar. I love rock music. And I said, you know what? Why don't we just incorporate this into our Friday session? And I've got some stuff I want to share with you guys coming next Monday, and how this will all kind of tie together. So stay tuned for that. So, okay. You bring up a good point here, Justin. So Ubersuggest is a great tool. Okay. Inside of our Academy, Brand Creators Academy, we use that tool. It's part of our process and it works great. But what I will tell you is that you can't base your decision on just the data there, because I know firsthand from experience and from results that those numbers in there are extremely low, extremely low. Okay. I'll give you an example. So in 2 of our brands right now that we are building from scratch, we compare the numbers from what Ubersuggest is saying and reporting to what we are actually getting. Okay. So last month, I don't have the exact numbers offhand here, but I'm going to give you some pretty close ballpark numbers. Okay. So the one brand, Ubersuggest, said that we received, I think it was like 12 or 1,300 organic searches. Okay. Inside of my Google Analytics, it was over 10,000. Okay. It was like 10,800 or something like that. I forget. Okay. But it was over 10,000. So 1,200, 10,000. So that goes to show me that if I'm looking for a keyword and I'm looking at 0 search results, is that accurate? I don't believe it is. And I know that because we also have keywords that say they don't get any search and we're getting search. So yeah, do not base your decision on that. Now, if you do find some and you're like, you know what, my threshold is going to be, I want to see that it at least shows 20 searches a month, then fine. But if it makes sense that search result is coming in, then I would just write the article, all right, or write the post. Okay. On the other brand, the second brand, it's even worse. Meaning, it says we got like 2,300 organic searches, and actually we got over, I believe it was like 15,000. So it's just way off when we're looking at those numbers. So do not base your decision on Ubersuggest. Use it as a guide, use it as ideas, but do not use that as the gospel. Like, do not do that. Okay. Salama, thoughts on dropship model and brand building? Would you start on Amazon if restarting? Salama, okay, I've noticed that you ask a lot of questions in a lot of different areas. Okay. And this is very common. So I'm not picking on you, but I am going to highlight you here just because I want other people to hear this, and I want you to hear this. You need to pick a business model, and then you need to go with it. You can't be building 3 or 4 different business models. It'll never work. All right. So like, if you're thinking about building a drop shipping model, like what does that mean? Right? Does that mean that you're just going to find products that people are buying and you're going to try to get traffic and try to get people to buy your drop shipping product? To me, you're going about it all the wrong way, because I don't look at drop shipping as a business model. I look at it as a way for someone to buy something once I have the attention in the market, once I have the traffic. So if we think about this, I am building a piece of real estate that gets attention in a market that I've already validated that are buying products. So now once I have the attention, once I have the traffic, guess what? If I want to do drop shipping, I can say, what products are selling? Oh, fishing rods. Can I drop ship fishing rods? Can I drop ship kayaks because I know that people are doing kayak bass fishing? Let's see. Let's see if there's any drop shipping programs out there that I could just slide that into a piece of my content. You see how that works? I've got an email list. I'm going to write an article on the best or 5 top kayaks for bass fishing. I'm going to send an email to my list, which I've built that are in the bass fishing market. And I'm going to send them to a blog post that says, 5 best kayaks for bass fishing, right? You see how that works? I can use drop shipping. I can use affiliate marketing. I can use my own products. I can use ad networks. I can use ClickBank. It doesn't matter what I use. That's monetization. That's all that is, right? So the biggest thing that we need to understand is we need to identify the market. We need to make sure that they're buying stuff. We need to make sure that there's traffic there. Like that's critical. Once we do that, then we build attention. We build traffic. Once we do that, then we can fill it in with monetization. But if we didn't do the validation process, we can get ourselves in trouble. If you're going at the angle of just drop shipping, that's your business model. You're kind of pigeonholed to only doing that, right? And only talking about those products. We don't want to do that. Okay. At least I don't. So hopefully that helped you and anyone else. James, I could be wrong, but I think Uber suggests you may have the number by 10. Now, I don't know. I've never heard anything about that, but yeah, you might need to. And I can't say that is accurate, but that might not be a bad idea because that has been my experience so far. I don't know about by 10, but it's definitely more than that. So, okay, guys, Rebecca, you got one. So true. I fell in that trap myself, being a jack of all trade and a master of none. I am now focusing on one project at a time and trying to be good at it before moving on to something else. And I love that, Rebecca. And you know what? It probably took a little bit of time to figure that out on your own. Me too. I get it. Right. But anytime that I try to focus here and there and there and there, it seems like I'm either more stressed, I'm not getting the results I want, and then I start just trying to make things work that I shouldn't be working on. So I've learned that a long time ago. And really, it's all about staying focused, understanding what is the plan, what is the roadmap, and then just start taking steps to get there, right? It's not just about the one product or the one model of drop shipping or affiliate marketing. Why not do them all if you want to? But it happens when you have the traffic and you have the attention, not just any traffic, the traffic in your market that is validated in the beginning that there is products being sold, ad networks are willing to spend money to get in front of them, all of those things. That's really what we're looking at here. All right, guys, that is going to pretty much wrap this up. What I want you guys to do, though, is come back tomorrow or put them in here now. I'll go back and read them. But I want you to show up because tomorrow we're going to kick off what I'm calling Friday Jam Session. And we're going to be answering questions, and I will be answering as many as you have during that 30-minute window. We'll set it up for 30 minutes. Make sure that you stop by. If you want me to answer something live, I will do it here on our Coffee Talks. And like I said, we're going to call these our Friday Jam Session with Scott. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. And I've got some news that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And also, let me put this in here. If you guys have not yet, if you haven't subscribed to the Coffee Talk, make sure they become part of our coffee crew. Just go to theamazingseller.com/coffee crew, and you will get on our messenger list, which will then notify you when we go live a couple minutes early before we go live in the morning, just as a little reminder. So make sure that you do that if you haven't done so already. All right. And last thing is just, if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them. But the big thing today's takeaway really is if you can create a resource in your market and you are the resource, traffic will come. It will be targeted traffic, and people that you're leading in will be the right people that are either willing to buy something, either willing to join your email list, or people that are just in your market that can help you help more people. And really, can you do that? By asking those questions that we talked about in the beginning of this coffee talk. Really is asking questions to the email list or to your Facebook page or group, any of that stuff. Questions are powerful. All right. So make sure that you do that. Again, just wanted to say thank you guys for stopping by. And again, if you have any questions, bring them with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a freestyle session where we're going to be jamming. We're going to be jamming questions. All right. So if you have any questions, bring them by tomorrow. And if you're on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and you get notified when we go live. Facebook, you as well. And do me a favor, invite a friend to one of these coffee talks. We would love to have more cool people like you here. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to have you help us by sharing it with someone that you think that would get value. All right. So that's it, guys. Have an awesome, amazing day. And as always, take care, take action, and I'll see you tomorrow.